All right, guys, strap in, because my man Angus, he's about to open up a big old can of one of these. How's it going, everybody? This is Phil. I guess today is a twofer, twofer Saturday. I wasn't intending to put anything else up for the evening, but then I saw this article pop up, and man, is it good. It comes from the flickerandmyth.com, and the author is Anghus Houvouras. I'm really not going to be making a lot of comments in this article like I normally do to kind of add to and embellish, because this guy, he really just gets in there and he lays it out. I mean, everything we kind of been saying, he just puts it out there, and he really just takes Disney to task and Lucasfilm. And I thought it would just be great to let everybody see that there are people out there who are actually publishing articles for other people to read that are, they really take the stance that we do. And I think these types of articles are important for our cause. It's very well written, in my opinion, and this guy he doesn't pull any punches. So with that being said, let's just really get into this. The most disappointing, and I guess this is a running series that Angus has on the Flicker and Myth, because I've seen other articles that start out with that. So the most disappointing, blaming Star Wars fans for Disney's failures. You said it. Anghus Houvouras on Disney's Star Wars. So let's do this, huh? The Star Wars franchise is FUBAR, a mess that continues to get messier. Like a wedding dress stain with red wine that someone tries to clean using a mop that's been soaking in a bucket of hot dog water. Okay, so I've written at length about how the Star Wars franchise has found itself in a perilous place. To catch everyone up to speed, here's a feelings-free recap of what has transpired in a galaxy far, far away. Number 1, Disney bought the franchise. Number 2, Disney started making Star Wars movies with no planning on story or overall arc for the first trilogy. Number 3, Star Wars: The Last Jedi sharply divided lifelong Star Wars fans. And number 4, Solo: A Star Wars Story was a massive financial disappointment. I said feelings free because this is important. I'm not here to argue whether or not The Last Jedi was any good. Whether you love the movie or hate it, the polarizing reactions seem to indicate that the film was wrong for the franchise. It has not set up Star Wars for future success, though I have no doubt the franchise will achieve success again. The fact that we're still talking about it 7 months after release is a fairly strong indicator of that posit. One of the biggest problems right now comes from the filmmakers. Rian Johnson continues to poke the bear by trolling fans on social media. Then, this week, Boba Fett filmmaker James Mangold came out and said that fan reactions could lead to the Star Wars films being directed by hacks. There has also been a lot written lately about how Star Wars fans are taking the franchise way too seriously and could benefit from taking a chill pill and embracing a healthier perspective. This is the nice way of saying, hey assholes, get a life. I never cared for the idea of blaming fans when things are going poorly. Yes, there are fans that are absolutely toxic. The ones who harass actors and who scream belligerently about having their childhood raped. These are not people to be taken seriously and do not represent the vast majority of fans who simply didn't like The Last Jedi and didn't turn out for Solo. This guy, he's got it. He's got it all on lockdown. It's easy for people to label detractors into that group. Ever since posting my thoughts about how much I disliked The Last Jedi, there have been supporters of the film who want to negate my criticisms based on ridiculous assertions of racism, sexism, or simply the movie subverting my expectations, to which I reply, horseshit. I'm just a guy who thought The Last Jedi was a poorly written film with some baffling creative choices. And there's one of them right there. Right? This guy Angus is the man. Hearing filmmakers throw any blame towards the fans make me cringe. I didn't think the embarrassment Disney was dealing with could get any more embarrassing. I was wrong. Fans aren't to blame for the poor state of the Star Wars franchise. This is a mess created by a studio that planned poorly and executed haphazardly, like with the troubled productions of Rogue One and Solo. The whole thing reminds me of a quote from 30 Rock. You made a bad decision and bought something you didn't understand, like when I bought tickets for Black Swan. I'm not sure if Disney fully understood what they had bought. It wasn't just the franchise, but the fans that came with it. The same people who not only see the movie, but buy the merchandise. The fans are what helped propel these movies to massive box office success. To hear the creative people behind the scenes whine about the fans, it feels like they don't understand the franchise. George Lucas has said that he sold Lucasfilm to Disney because making Star Wars movies was no longer fun. This was after he made 3 prequels that ranged from mind-blowingly terrible to not awful. Pardon me if I'm not exactly sympathetic because George lost the will to make painfully mediocre blockbusters. And there's our Jar Jar who's been in the news lately. So basically what Mangold and others are saying is, if you don't have anything nice to say, then don't say it, which feels like the defense of someone who can't stomach criticism. It's an obtuse rationale from creators who want fans to buy whatever they're selling and feel lucky that it even exists. Like I'm Kevin Bacon in Animal House bent over while getting paddled, and all I'm supposed to say is, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" Thank you, sir, may I have another? I can't help but draw parallels between Disney Star Wars and the DC Extended Universe, another franchise that has found itself dealing with extreme fan polarization after questionable creative choices. Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice, and Suicide Squad were films met with massive amounts of criticism from fans. There were those who didn't care for Zack Snyder's vision of classic characters. Like Solo, Justice League was an absolute disaster of a production with massive reshoots and another director being brought in to try to recalibrate fan expectations. I don't recall anyone at Warner Brothers lashing out at fans for being part of the problem. The problems were all the product of poor choices by the studio, mostly trying to push things forward too quickly without a plan. Sound familiar? It certainly does, Angus. The fans aren't the problem, and putting any percentage of the blame on them is ridiculous. Disney is still very capable of fixing all this, but they need their creative people to stop talking, or at least stop talking about the controversial aspects and have them focus on the cool stuff coming down the pipeline. Disney, keep your creatives focused on the future, not the furor. There's nothing to be won by analyzing past mistakes and miring in the muck that has been created from poor planning. I find this blame the fans campaign currently being perpetrated by a number of people to be kind of gross and woefully misplaced. And that, my friends, is disappointing. Angus. Sir, I salute you. And for putting an article out there like this for the whole world to see, I have only one thing to say to you. Well, maybe 2. First of all, I think I love you. You're my new hero. And for putting this article up, sir, you get several of these. Yes! 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 So that's pretty much it, guys. Really, it's hard to add much to what Angus let loose in this excellent article. I mean, it's a tough act to follow. Feel free to share your thoughts as always. I think we definitely need to see more articles such as this by authors who just don't fall in line with the vast majority of the other toxic shill media websites, regarding Disney's Star Wars and the constant bombardment of the fans, our section of the fans who won't stand for forced agendas and unnecessary political messages and lousy characters who serve purpose only to fill a quota first and foremost, as opposed to, putting story first and letting that thing sort itself out in the casting process, where the best person for the job should win the role based off of skill and talent, not race, gender, or skin color. So, and the canon that Anghus is pointing, it's aimed directly at Kathleen Kennedy and Rian Johnson and Lucasfilm and Disney and that Lucasfilm story group. And all of their days are numbered. Disney and Lucasfilm isn't going anywhere, but those people that are involved right now, that are creating all of this muck and mire that we find ourselves up to our necks in, they're gone. They're out the door. So once again, bravo. Mr. Anghus Houvouras. I salute you, sir. Thanks to everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this article as much as I did. I loved it. And if this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to my channel and giving that little bell a click so you can be notified the next time I post a video. Until next time, be happy, be safe, be healthy, and have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.